Hi everybody, my name is Sabrina, and in this week's reading we read about racial identity developmental theory and how I examined and understood my own identity was to look at the summaries of stages of racial identity, and I would classify myself as being multiracial. I don't want to choose one particular race or ethnicity that I fall under. I want to embrace all of them and embrace my whole sense of identity because it makes me feel a sense of wholeness and learning about every aspect of who I am as a person and where my people fall into in this world. I don't want to lose something. So I am going to classify myself as Mexican, Spaniard, Native, and German, and also American. I believe that's a lot of being multiracial and learning a lot about myself. I don't want to fall under one particular group. And then as far as identifying a time in my life where I experienced or witnessed an institutional racism, it would be more so what I witnessed. My brother was involved a lot with the juvenile court system in Southern California, and I witnessed a lot of the times that he would get more sentence for a longer period of time than other people of other white, the white culture. He would, get sentenced for a longer period of time, even though they committed the same types of crimes. He also experienced a lack of education because he was in the court system. And yes, he did go to school while he was in detention because they are mandatory to go to school. He didn't experience a vast of knowledge. He just went and he ended up getting credits. It didn't matter if he did the work or not, as long as he went and he just got the credit for attending. That's kind of how the court system was run there, as far as their education. And so he didn't have the privilege of knowing his of gaining knowledge, of getting a proper education, because of just attending school. It's not enough. He did graduate because he did get credits. He did graduate from school. But if you were to test him as far as where his reading level was and where his writing level was, he would probably have a reading or a writing level of an elementary student. And I just wanted to, I was reading an article recently about racism in the juvenile justice court, and how blacks and Hispanics do get the short end of the sticks and do get their sentence recommendations are lack of. And one quote that kind of stood out for me was that in a community that lacks opportunity and resources, street corner gatherings often are a possibility for illegal activities. Neighborhoods that can also influence children's behavior by providing examples of socially acceptable behaviors and actions. So for us in our neighborhood, it was socially acceptable to be a part of a gang. That's how you made your friends. That's where your family was. And that's where our male community went towards. And you know, in these low income communities where we have, you know, a lot of poverty, you know, people tend to grasp towards things. So I feel for me, this happened when I was an adolescent. I saw my brother in and out of the court system, getting in trouble with the gangs. And saw my mom, you know, struggle a lot through all this supporting. She was a single parent, so we did have some lack of resources. And this kind of shaped my own identity and why I want to pursue my career in social work. This helped me shape my identity because of this, I wanted to establish that, you know, not throw away these kids that are in the juvenile justice system, that they can be reformed and be rehabilitated to choose a different path, so they don't have to go back to the court system when they're adults. And then I also want to support these families that, you know, that have these kids and they don't, and have these behavior issues. So they kind of build up their family structure, so they find a family within their own family instead of seeking out family through, you know, negative influences. So thank you and have a great day.